For as long as I've been on the internet, I've been obsessed with memes. I loved demotivational posters, Leroy Jenkins, advice animals, serial guy, rage guy, LOL guy, and of course, this guy.
Just let rain.
I say that creating content on the internet is like having a child and putting it up for adoption by the public immediately.
But at some point, memes left the weird corners of the internet and became a part of how almost everyone participated in conversations online. Now, memes define how we experience pop culture, they're being used in advertising, and they're defining our political moments. And all of that made me wonder this. So, I mean, memes are, at their core, an inside joke. They are like a reference that an in-group gets and an out-group doesn't get.
Do you have a favorite meme?
Right now, I think my favorite meme is this screenshot from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas of the main character walking down an alleyway, and the caption is just, "Oh, here we go again." And it's not funny when you say it out loud. But it's like the funniest thing in the world.
Yeah, I'm way on the out of this. It does seem like the life cycle of memes has seriously sped up. Because I just remember being on Reddit and seeing the Futurama guy, the not sure if meme,
Right.
for like years. And now they don't repeat after like a day or maybe a week at most. So it is more work to keep up.
My face is most known for the blinking white guy, which is just me making an expression, sort of like an incredulous look. And for some reason, that gained a lot of traction. I mean, I certainly don't feel like I have any ownership over it anymore, because, or that I really ever did, which is a little scary in a way, because it is my face and I have no control over it.
There's a new phrase creeping into our language from the internet, and it goes like this.
All your base are belong to us.
What they call a meme, M-E-M-E, I kind of like that internet
Become what's called a meme, an idea reproducing across the web.
The viral idea, the meme as it's called, has grown exponentially.
What a meme is? No.
I've never heard of a meme.
I've heard of a mime.
I always thought it was Mimi.
I thought it was memes.
I thought it was memes.
Yeah, I call it memes, yeah.
This is how politics is waged this day. These are the meme wars in action.
We've clearly come a long way in how we talk about memes, but memes have also come a long way in just how influential they are to us. But to understand why we use the word meme, you have to go back to 1976, when Richard Dawkins wrote this book, The Selfish Gene. He spends the majority of it talking about genetics, but in one of the last chapters, he comes up with this new word, memes. And he's been asked to explain it ever since.
The meme is the unit of cultural inheritance. It's anything that's copied, anything that's imitated, anything that spreads around like a virus.
So he defines a meme as any unit of cultural information that passes from one person to the next. Let me show you how that works. Alex, finish this tune for me.
Staying alive, staying alive.
Okay, Claire, finish the sentence for me. Live.
Long and prosper.
Great. Okay, Rebecca, finish this one for me. It's Friday, Friday.
Gotta get down on Friday.
Awesome. So any of those things, like a tune or a catchphrase, any cultural product that's repeated over time, for Dawkins, that was considered a meme. But then in 1994, this Wired article called Meme Counter Meme by Mike Godwin becomes the first time that people refer to memes within the context of the internet. It's funny, there's this line that says, most people on the net, as elsewhere, had never heard of memes or memetics. All of that was about to change. Chances are that if you spend much time on the internet at all, you know what memes are. There are Shrek memes, stock image memes, there are Kermit memes. They've kind of become this very essential part of how we communicate, and as a result of that, there is a business to be made out of doing them really well. That's why we're visiting this company in Midtown Manhattan right now called Brandfire. They're essentially this team of meme makers turned advertising consultants. We're talking specifically to a guy whose Instagram page is called Sunny Side Up. He's got 1 million followers, and he's kind of made a business out of making really great memes that resonate with a whole lot of people. And it turns out being able to do that today is extremely valuable.
So my name is Adam. I run Brandfire, which is the branding agency in Manhattan. Sunny comes here and works and collaborates on a lot of memes and a lot of content that we create for our clients and for ourselves and our meme community. It's sort of a creative safe space, I like to call it.
How do you make money from memes? How does that work?
I'll make memes for like a media company and just sell it to them. And I'll do the same for like dating apps. I would notice people going viral all the time, and I just saw that it like wasn't that hard. Like I had nothing else to do. So it was like that or have no job and do nothing.
You know, I like absurdism. I think repetition creates, when you create a pattern of absurdity and it becomes kind of normalized, it's interesting.
That's just memes, though.
So that's, yeah, exactly. And we do this every day, so it's just like I have to post today.
Right now they're making memes for their own Instagram pages, but their resulting social media clout is how Brandfire attracts new clients. And they're not alone. In the last decade, it's become standard for brands to capitalize on meme culture to sell things.
What I was thinking, we should make, so I was thinking about even making like a concept for a whole account where it's like a fake CBD account.
But what's the real joke? Like you have CBD and you mellow out. So like, what would be a good thing to, like what would CBD go in that wouldn't make much sense?
What about like a energy drink with CBD?
Yeah, like you get like a guy relaxing in a chair that looks like a Kyle kind of guy, and with the monster drink in the foreground. That's not a bad idea. This guy looks chill.
Now with CBD, for when you want to just chill. You could like maybe like fade him in like one of those like an 80s like yearbook photo.
Yeah, totally.
There you go.
Chill Kyle.
Yeah. Doesn't get more bold than that.
Yeah. I think it's probably pretty good, right, bro?
It looks great, honestly.
So, yeah,
it looks like an ad in a skateboard magazine.
The whole joke is just this kid. It's just who looks so thoughtful. Yeah, he's just so thoughtful. You got to take a break from punching walls sometimes. You know, and think about it. Think about all the walls you've punched.
Most of memes are just like things that a lot of people are thinking that they don't say out loud, so they can just post it and feel like they're saying it without being like personally attached to it.
So now we're already starting to come up with like the caption. Right. Because the caption activates.
The caption's the hardest part because like you can make a great image and take like hours and hours. This guy's gonna start adding shadows and like you're not gonna catch someone's eye with a news article. Like, oh, this, that, but you'll catch someone's eye with like a popular meme format and then they'll read it and they'll, whether they think it's a joke or not, they're still taking it in.
Yeah.
So I think it says that we're all alike in ways that we don't realize. Like if a lot of people can relate to something that you said, then it's like you hit like the sweet spot, you know?
I mean, what do you feel like it takes to make something that does relate and resonate with people?
I noticed the stuff that I work harder on goes less viral than the stuff that I'll make in like 2 minutes.
When you stop and reflect?
Maybe, yeah. Or maybe like when you want to reflect.
All right, I'm gonna share it.
I beat you, bro.
Thank you so much. This is awesome. Great to meet you too. So let's talk about the format. Seeing that entire behind-the-scenes process of a meme being made made me wonder, you know, is there a reason that memes look the way they do? Is there something behind this whole internet ugly aesthetic? To figure that out, I talked to Whitney Phillips. She was really one of the first people to research trolling and memes.
4chan and 4chan's site architecture played an unknown but really significant role in the rise of what we now refer to as meme culture. And the reason that that happened was because it was not a very robust website. It didn't have a lot of server space.
I'm going to need some help to explain this, so I'm going to text Joss. Can you help me make some art? Hello. To show how 4chan works, Joss is gonna make something artsy, and I'm gonna make something scrappy. In the early 2000s, when internet memes were first becoming a thing, all of these different formats start on 4chan.
Ah, so this is 4chan.
This is 4chan. Now, 4chan was and still is a very fringe website, but to start a conversation on an image board, you have to post a picture. That's a rule that's designed to prevent spamming. For example,
My
this picture that you made.
Yay! Can I post it?
You can.
Here you go, 4chan. What do you think of my art?
But 4chan had really limited server space, so it had to constantly delete old pictures to make space for new ones.
My picture looks kind of out of place on this board.
It does, and it would. If a thread had a lot of engagement, it would stay up, but if not, it was deleted. So anyone who spent a long time working on a piece of content,
like me,
like you, on 4chan, got really frustrated when their stuff was deleted very quickly, such as this.
No!
A 2011 study found that the threads on 4chan's random board B had an average lifespan of just about 9.1 minutes. If you were spending a long time on photoshopping some clever response to something that someone said to you, by the time you get back to the conversation, that thread might be over. It might be permanently gone.
I had no idea that you had to be that fast in order to engage in these conversations.
Right.
The memes that emerged out of 4chan were often deeply problematic to undersell what that site was like. The aesthetic also often contained profound dehumanizations, because that was part of the joke on 4chan, is that trolls troll trolls who troll trolls. You know, and one of the classic examples is advice animals. You know, most of them were about sexual violence, racist violence, all kinds of violent dehumanization, but everyday people who spread the fun and funny versions of that content also have helped spread that same pollution. The difference is that they don't realize that they are holding a weapon in their hands.
Interesting, right?
Super interesting.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder if I was sharing memes, you know, back in 2012 when these really simplistic, like very wholesome actually, memes were coming around. I had no idea that when I saw them on Reddit, they actually had a much longer history on 4chan.
Yeah.
So
I definitely was.
yeah, like, is Business Cat racist? Is, like, Bad Luck Brian, like, a Nazi? I have no idea.
I think he's not a Nazi.
Yeah, definitely not. Been a part of a McDonald's commercial, Volkswagen commercial, have had t-shirts with my face on it in Walmart and Hot Topic. So it's actually been pretty awesome so far.
Memes are by nature constantly repurposed and recontextualized. The consequences of that can be very personal, and I don't think there's anyone who knows what that looks like better than the person behind one of the oldest memetic videos on the internet, Chocolate Rain.
Chocolate rain. Build a tent and say the well is dry. Chocolate rain.
I wrote something that at the time to me was an experimental and serious ballad about institutional racism, and it became something that was much more, for most people, about it being a catchy song, about me looking very young, having a deep voice, singing with conviction, all of these other aspects of the experience. And so I just kind of had to step back and allow the world to appropriate it in the way that the world wanted to appropriate it.
Chocolate cake.
The teacher yells when I get answers right.
I'm insane.
Which drum is the one I'm going to train?
Chocolate rain.
I think the question that memes raise is, where do we find a safe place for complex meaning? Where do we find a safe place for meaning that takes more than 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 seconds to convey?
It's really important to know where memes come from, because the intention behind how they were created might not always be what you think. And that's especially true with political memes. In this Senate-commissioned report, the authors write that memes are the propaganda of the digital age. Here's what they mean by that. This is a meme comparing CNN to North Korean state media. It was made by a Russian trolling propaganda page. And this is a very, very similar meme posted by a conservative website. It's basically a ripoff. And that ripoff of a Russian meme was later shared on Facebook by Republican Congressman Steve King. He has 2 Facebook pages, and one is really just for posting memes. And the reason that that's so impactful is that the meme page is followed by a lot of people. In the last 3 months alone, his meme page had around 46 times more page interactions than his normal Facebook page. That's 600,000 interactions for the meme page versus about 14,000 for the regular Facebook page. So by translating political messages into memes, you can actually help them travel a lot further. But how they're digested and perceived, that's a different story. There's one organization that tries to make sense of all of this. They are a website that I have been reading forever, Know Your Meme. They've been the encyclopedia of memes since 2008. I really want to hear what they have to say, and there is one night when I have to be there.
And welcome to night 2 of the first Democratic debate in the 2020 race for president.
The first Democratic debates are about to begin. We are at the offices of Know Your Meme in Williamsburg, and they've kind of created this war room where they're watching the debate, and they're also watching all of the memes that are coming out of the debate at the very same time.
Well, hopefully, yeah, use these to mark tallies of gaffes, any moments, expressions, everything.
This guy.
That guy.
This team has watch parties like this for a lot of big events. They're here to track everything that's being said so that they can document how the memosphere responds. This is kind of the first chance for a lot of these candidates to really show the world who they are on this big stage. But it's also this chance for everything they say to be kind of infinitely remixed. Everything is fair game here. So let's see what happens.
All of us are logged into our research account, and we're gonna basically start bookmarking tweets.
Oh, interesting.
So Sophie will be tracking Trump's tweets in reaction, and Brianna and Peter are gonna be making some memes live as we feed information, basically.
I mean, it's fascinating to see this whole system that they've got right now. They've got an entire wall of basically every buzzword big moment that could be turned into something in the coming days. It's an organized operation, I will say that. Somewhat organized.
I think we tend to think that we listen to their policies more than their facial expressions, more than their intonations, more than their sudden moments that get captured. And I think what that means is that people will make their vote if all of these debates were on mute.
Very interesting. If you had to say what the biggest memefiable moment of tonight was, what do you think?
Like Marianne Williamson pointing thing.
And that gets back into not just the big pharma, not just.
Marianne Williamson has chaotic, recurring Frasier character energy. She's somehow attempting to be the craziest person in the room, and you gotta respect it.
I think it's just the placement of seeing 5 men right next to a woman putting their
It's a strong visual.
That's a strong visual.
That might be the most enduring image meme.
Marianne Williamson's performance on that debate stage made her internet famous and even got her a page on Know Your Meme the very next day. And if you look at her Instagram page, you can tell that she's absolutely embracing that. Before the debate, she really never posted memes, and now she posts them all the time. Which is probably why after the next debate, she said this.
Did this night go the way you had hoped it would?
No, yeah. I mean, I'll tell you when, later when I see the memes.
Memes have become a new language that lets people say things and get attention that they wouldn't be able to any other way. And the world is just getting memeier, for better or for worse.
I don't think there's anything wrong with memes or being a meme or anything like that. I'm doing all right, and I know that many are too, but I think as long as the humanity isn't lost in it, it should be okay.